Hello. In this video, we are going to see what is the alternating current, that is AC, and what is direct current, DC. So, these are the contents we are going to see in this video. What is alternating current? In that, how alternating current generates, what are the sources, then types of AC waveforms, and how to describe the AC wave. Then applications of alternating current. Next is direct current, and in that the sources of generation of direct current, that is DC. Then how to describe the DC waveform. Next is applications of DC, direct current, and last point is comparison between alternating current and direct current. First, we will see what is the alternating current. The alternating current describes the flow of charge that changes direction periodically. As a result, the voltage level also reverses along with the current. The alternating current is used to deliver power to the houses, offices, and industries, etc. Next is generating AC, or how to generate alternating current. The alternating current can be produced by using a device which called as an alternator. The alternator is a device which is a special type of electrical generator designed to produce alternating current. A loop of wire is rotated inside of magnetic field which induces a current along the wire. The rotation of the wire can come from any number of means: a wind turbine, steam turbine, flowing water, and so on. Because the wire spins and enters a different magnetic polarity periodically, the voltage and current alternates on the wire. Here on the screen we can see the animation which shows the principle. In the animation we can see the alternating current is related to the water analogy. To generate alternating current in a set of water pipes, we connect a mechanical crank to a piston that moves water in the pipes back and forth, that is our alternating current. You can see that the pinch section of pipe still provides resistance to the flow of water regardless of the direction of flow. Here we can see a mechanical crank which is connected to the piston, and water is flowing in the first half. It is flowing in this direction, and in second part it is moving in this direction, opposite direction. Here resistor is mentioned. Here pipe is pinched, that is pressed, which opposes to the flow of water. This is for water analogy, and for our AC circuit the current flows in either this direction or in another direction, and the resistor is the opposition flow of current for the electrical circuit, and for here it is the flow of it opposes to the flow of water. Next point is different types of AC waveforms. The alternating current, sorry, the alternating current can come in a number of forms as long as the voltage and current are alternating. If we see with the oscilloscope for a particular circuit with alternating current and plot its voltage over the time. We can see number of different types of waveforms. The alternating current in most homes or residential buildings and offices have an oscillating voltage that produces a sine waveform. The most common type of AC is the sine waveform. Here you can see this is the most common AC waveform, and it is for residential buildings and offices. Other common form of AC waveforms are square wave on the right side and triangular waveform that is shown in the downside. The square waves are often used in digital and switching electronics to test their operation. And the triangle wave or triangular waveforms are found in sound synthesis and are useful for testing linear electronics like amplifier circuits or amplifiers. So these are the different types of AC waveforms. Next point is how to describe these waveforms. First, we will see how to describe this sine waveform. For this waveform here, we can describe AC waveform in mathematical terms. For example purpose, we have considered here sine waveform. There are three parts of sine wave. One is amplitude, and next frequency and phase. Okay. So looking at just voltage, we are not considering here current, we are considering voltage, and we can describe sine wave as mathematical function. So equation is given, that is V of t equals to Vp into sine in bracket 2 pi ft plus phi. Okay. V of t on the left side, V of t is given. V of t is our voltage as a function of time, which means that our voltage changes as time changes. The equation to the right side, describes how the voltage changes over the time. In that, Vp is the amplitude. It describes the maximum voltage that our sine wave can reach in either direction. That means our voltage can be either positive plus Vp or minus Vp, and unit is volts. Next is sine. Sine function indicates that our voltage will be in the form of periodic sine wave, which is a smooth oscillation. Next is 2 pi. 2 pi is a constant that converts the frequency from cycle to the angular frequency. It means that it converts from hertz to radian per second. Next is EF. EF describes the frequency of sine wave. It is given in the form of hertz or unit per second, or we can say cycles per second. The frequency tells how many times a particular waveform occurs within 1 second. Here we have considered 1 cycle per second. Next is T. T is our independent variable, that is time measured in seconds. As time changes, our waveform varies. And last parameter is phi. Phi describes the phase of sine wave. Phase is a measure of how shifted the waveform is with respect to the time. It is often given as a number between 0 to 0 and 360, and it is measured in degrees. Because of the periodic nature of the sine wave, if waveform is shifted by 360 degree, it means that the same waveform again as if it was shifted by 0 degree. For simplicity, we are assuming the phase is 0 degree. We can see an example of how AC waveform works. In the United States, the power provided to home is AC, that is alternating current, with about 170, 170, 170 volt, that is amplitude, and 60 hertz, that is frequency. We can express that in the equation form. Here equation is written: V of t equals to 170, that is amplitude of voltage, sine 2 pi 60 into t. 60 is frequency, that is 2 pi ft, f is 60, that is frequency in hertz. We can see the graph for the same, that equation. We can see the voltage rise is up to 170 volt plus 170 volt and down to minus 170 volt periodically. Alternately, it is going to plus 170 and in the downside negative minus 170 volt. Additionally, 60 cycles of sine wave occurs every second. 60 hertz frequency is there, that means 60 cycles per second. Here in this graph only few cycles are shown. Next point is applications of alternating current. There are various applications of alternating current. The alternating current is mostly used, but here we have listed few applications of alternating current, that are motors, electric motors. Next is generators, dishwashers, and refrigerators. This is related to alternating current. Next, we will go to the direct current. So first, what is the direct current? The direct current is defined as the unidirectional flow of current. The current only flows in one direction. The direct current is bit easier to understand than alternating current. The DC provides a constant voltage or current, as in case of AC, it was alternating nature or oscillating nature. Next, we will see how the direct current generates. What are the resources or what are the causes for direct current? The direct current can be generated in different ways. First, the AC generator equipped with a device called as a commutator can produce direct current. Second is rectifier, which converts alternating current to the direct current. And last one is the battery. Batteries provides the direct current, which is generated from a chemical reaction inside of the battery. That means there are three ways. One is commutator, second is rectifier, and third one is battery. So similar to the alternating current, we will see direct current with the water analogy. This direct DC direct current is similar to the tank of water with hose at the end of the tank, water tank. The tank can only push water in one way. Here arrow is given. From arrow we can see only water comes from upside to the downside. This is unidirectional. This is for water tank. Similarly, for electrical circuit, if we consider the battery, one the current also flows in only one direction. Here, once the tank is empty, water no longer flows through the pipes. Similarly, battery is also, when completely discharges, that battery will be not useful for the applications. Next point is how to describe the direct current. As we know, the direct current is unidirectional flow of current. The voltage and current can vary over the time so long as the direction of flow does not change. That means the direct current, in direct current case, the voltage is constant. For example, we are assuming that the battery provides 1.5 volt, which can be described in mathematical terms as V of t equals to 1.5 volt. Okay, this is the equation considered for a battery which is giving output of 1.5 volt. Okay. If we plot this over the time, we can see constant voltage. The plot is here. You can see the voltage is considered on the y-axis and the time is taken on the x-axis. If we see the output or voltage for this equation, it is constant and the magnitude is 1.5 volt. It means that we can count on most DC sources to provide a constant voltage over the time. But in practical, a battery will slowly lose its charge, meaning that the voltage will drop as the battery is used. For most purposes, we can assume the voltage is constant. Okay, next point is the applications of direct current. The direct current is also used in different applications. Here, few applications are listed. Almost all electronic projects or electronic circuits are run on the direct current, where the battery is used. That is the applications of direct current. The examples of direct current includes cell phones. Almost everyone is having cell phones. So in that, you can see that the cell phone is operating on the battery, which is the application of direct current. Next is flat screen television set. In that, the alternating current goes into the TV and which is going to convert to the direct current. So it is also known application. Next is flashlight, and last one is hybrid and electric vehicles. So this is now the trending uh, topic, hybrid and electric vehicles. So as an electrical engineer, almost all are aware about the electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles in which batteries are used, and battery means that is the application of direct current. Next point we will see, that is AC versus DC. In the late 18th century, direct current could not be easily converted to high voltages. As a result, Thomas Edison proposed a system of small local power plants that would power individual neighborhoods or city sections. The power was distributed using three wires from the power plant. The lights and motors could be connected for that three wires. sorry, that were connected to the two wires, either positive or negative voltage and zero voltage, that is neutral. The 110 volt allowed for some voltage drop between the plant and the load. Load means we can consider as a residential building or offices, etc. Even though the voltage drop across the power lines was accounted for, the power plants needed to be located within 1 mile of the end user. This limitation made power distribution in rural areas extremely difficult. With Nikola Tesla's patents, Westinghouse worked to perfect the AC distribution system. The transformers provide an inexpensive method to step up the voltages of alternating current to the several thousand volts and back down or step down to useful voltage levels. At higher voltages, the same power could be transmitted at much lower current, which means which means less power loss due to the resistance in the wires. As a result, large power plants could be located many miles away and service a greater number of people and buildings. Next point is rise of alternating current. In 1891, the International Electrotechnical Exhibition was held in Germany and displayed the first long distance transmission of three phase alternating current, three phase AC, which powered lights and motors at the exhibition. Several representatives from General Electric Company were present and they impressed by the display. The following year, General Electric formed and began to invest in AC technology. The Westinghouse won a contract in 1893 to build a hydroelectric dam to harness the power of Niagara Falls and transmit alternating current. The project was completed on 16 November 1896 and AC power began to the power industries. This milestone marked the decline of direct current DC in the United States. While Europe adopted an AC standard of 220 volts at 50 Hz, and in North America it was it was 120 volt at 60 Hz. Next point is comparison between alternating current and direct current. The main difference between alternating current and direct current is given in the chart. So the amount of energy that can be carried in case of alternating current, it is safe to transfer over long distances and it will provide more power. But in direct current, the voltage of direct current cannot travel very far until it begins to lose energy. Second parameter is cause of direction of flow of electrons. In case of alternating current, it is denoted rotating magnet along the wire, but in case of DC, it is denoted steady magnetism along the wire. Next is frequency. In alternating current, the frequency will be either 50 Hz or 60 Hz or any other depending upon the country. In direct current, the frequency will be 0. Next is direction. We have seen that in case of AC, the direction continuously changes, that means it varies, and in DC only one direction of the current flow. Next is current. In AC, the magnitude of current varies with respect to the time, and in DC, the current of constant. voltage, or sorry, current of constant magnitude. Next is flow of electrons. In case of AC, electrons will keep switching the directions, and in case of DC, electrons move steadily in one direction only. Next is source or generation or obtained from the which source. AC is obtained from the generator and mains, and DC is obtained from cell or battery. Next is passive parameters. The passive parameter in case of AC is impedance, and for DC it is resistance. Next is power factor. In case of AC, the power factor ranges from 0 to 1, and in case of DC it is always 1. Last point is types. There are different types of waveforms for AC, that is sinusoidal, square, trapezoidal, or triangular. And in case of DC, there are two types, either pure DC or pulsating DC. So this is about comparison between alternating current and direct current. So in this video, we have seen alternating current, how it generates, how to describe alternating current, different types of AC waveforms, applications of alternating current. Similarly, we have seen what is direct current, that is DC, how it generates, how to describe the DC waveform, what are the applications of direct current, and this was the last point, that is comparison between alternating current and direct current. So it is all about AC and DC. So thank you for the watching this video.